Hey everyone, it's Penny and I want to throw something at you, kind of food for thought, or if you want to dig deep to try to figure out kind of the reasoning behind why you had children, or the expectation, or the family expectations. And I want to talk about my experience and what was ingrained in my life. I was raised in a huge Catholic family. My mom it was the oldest of 8. My grandma and grandpa had huge families, and my mom started kind of changed tradition, kind of sort of, where she only had 4 children, which was still a brood. And so it was ingrained that when you grew up, in my family, everyone had an education. So education was first and foremost, but it kind of was family tradition to grow up, someday get married, have children, etc. And that's kind of how it went. So I kind of always knew I would have children someday, and I did. I got pregnant in the military and then subsequently had another daughter, and in the past 13 years, they're estranged. But it was kind of an expectation. It was the way things were. You were raised and you were going to stay in the Catholic religion because that was the only way. And yet I kind of knew how to be a mom from seeing my grandmas and my aunts and uncles, or my aunts, sorry about, not my uncles, but my aunts and great aunts and etc. And so I kind of knew what it took, and although I wasn't perfect, that's just the way it was. So did I want children? Sure, I wanted to have kids, and I did, and I was happy when I had them, and I love being a mom. Yet, had I not been raised in a family where it was ingrained in it, that was kind of your course in life, would I have had children? And the answer is I don't know, because I didn't know any other way. But I've met a lot of women along the way who want a baby simply to fill a void, or because they think that being a mom is the only thing, and my life is only going to be complete if I can have children, or if I have children, or even if I just have one. I have a friend who all she ever wanted to be was a mom. She was very successful with her work, and she has very high regard at work. But the only thing she ever wanted was to have a baby. And I think it was to fill a void. I think it was because it was unconditional love, that life would be peaches and cream, that was the last piece of the puzzle for her. And lo and behold, now we have estrangement, which is kind of at the forefront for a lot of people. And I see women especially that kind of have on rose-colored glasses when it comes to their children, because my friend who has one child, I'll tell you, it is very difficult to be around said child, because her child is in high school and she has put this kid on a pedestal. She has put this child at the forefront above herself. She worships the ground this child walks on. This child has everything handed to them, and this child has never learned an ounce of respect for people, especially women. So all I want to say is that even if we're raised in a family where it's expected that we have children, or we figure they're going to fill a void from what our parents did or didn't do for us, and that's the end all, that's the answer to life's happiness. It doesn't always turn out that way. Sometimes when our kids break free and we've idolized them and we've made them first and foremost, and this is the only reason I'm living, sometimes we have to let go of the fantasy or the mindset we had when we were younger. We have to say, even if my children aren't a part of my life, I'm still going to be okay. So that's all I wanted to say is you have to dig deep when it comes to kids because they are separate outside of us. They are meant to create their own identity. And even if they're not around, or maybe, unfortunately, if they pass way too soon, some parents tend to crumble, and then some of us realize that I still have a life to live outside of that. So that's all I wanted to say is that we can and will survive without our children around. But dig deep and try to figure out why you had children in the first place. And sometimes it's not all it's cut out to be. So anyways, that's what I wanted to talk about, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.